Hi everyone, my name is Mary Beth. Welcome to my channel. So today we're going to ask what is triggering separation at this time. Okay, and we're going to do the DM and the DF. Okay, and we're going to find out what could be triggering separation. Also, before we begin, just know when I do the DM side and the DF side, feel free to switch it. Whatever guidance feels right for you, or if you feel the guidance is for you on either side, if you feel like, oh, the DM works for me and the DF, go ahead and take that guidance, okay? As we are all the DMs and the DFs, okay? Also, I am doing 10-minute free readings now. And so if you are a new subscriber and you are interested in a 10-minute free reading, go ahead and email me at twinflamealchemisttarot@gmail.com. Also, if you are already one of my awesome subscribers, then go ahead and email me and let me know if you're interested in the 10-minute free reading. And then, so everyone gets one burning question, and I will send you a private video on your question. Okay. Also, go ahead now and set your intention for what you would like to get out of this reading. And then I'm just going to go off my little cheat sheet to show like what my intention is. So my intention is to help as many people as possible get into twin flame union, to help people become the highest versions of themselves, to help empower as many DFs and DMs as I can, and to be a clear channel for the divine and have fun. Okay, so let's begin. Let's start with the DM, okay? So let's see what is triggering the, ooh, something already popped up. What is triggering for the DM? Okay, we got it. All right, so for the DM, what's triggering for the DM is insecurity. Probably can't see it. Insecurity. So, okay, so we're going to learn more about that. So insecurity right now could be, on the DM side, could be triggering separation. Okay, it's kind of a trapped emotion that they have inside of them. They may not even be conscious that it's inside of them, and so it just needs to be. So the emotion code, I definitely recommend for that. Okay, and then for the DF, okay, that already popped out. For the DF, there's conflict. So for the DF, there may be some kind of trapped emotion of conflict. Okay, it could be, a conflict within yourself, conflict within family, it could be conflict with a job, it could be conflict with your twin flame. And so there's a trapped emotion of conflict. So let's go ahead and let's dig deeper on what else could be triggering triggering separation at this time. So let's start with the DMs. What could be triggering separation for the DMs at this time? One card for the DMs for the collective, please. One card for the DM, please. No need to fear. Remember how powerful you are. Right, so we have insecurity, right? So that's for the DM, insecurity. And so the advice is no need to fear. Remember how powerful you are. So if you relate as the DM and you are feeling insecure about this situation or about your DF, please know that you are powerful, okay? And that there's no need to fear at all. No need to fear at all. Okay, so let's look at the DF side. Let's look at DF. What is triggering separation on the DF side? What's going on? What is triggering for the DF for making separation? Ooh, it says keep your temper. So yeah, so we had conflict, right, on the DF side. So it says keep your temper, don't allow anger to rule you. So if some of you are very angry, so it's almost like you're putting yourself into conflict. As a matter of fact, you're putting your own DM and DF sides of you into conflict. So you need to integrate your own DM and DF to balance yourself out, okay, because this is a fifth dimensional relationship. So you need to balance yourself out first before you can get into twin flame union, okay? Because this is not one of your everyday, relationships where you're, codependent and you depend on each other for your happiness. That's not what this relationship is about. It's about balancing yourself out first, finding your own bliss and your own happiness and loving yourself, and then, that being mirrored back to you, okay? So conflict. So that is for the DF. So let's get some more cards. Let's ask them some more questions. So let's get another deck here for the DM. Okay. And then also just they're asking me to show you this for the DFs. So for some of the DFs who are angry right now, it doesn't even have to be about your DM. It could be about what's happening in the world, but if there's some kind of anger going on, just know you probably don't want to get into union down here. So it is, I would say, the anger vibration is way higher than fear and desire, which is good. But you still don't want to get into union in that vibration. You really kind of want to wait till you get up here to the love vibration. And so do what you can to kind of, bring your, inner emotions and vibrations up. So a lot of that has to do with purging. So purging these trapped emotions. So for you, it could be conflict, and maybe there's something that happened in your life where maybe it's something that's like trapped in your subconscious mind and you don't even know what's triggering you. And so a lot of times some kind of sometimes hypnotherapy is good. Sometimes I like the emotion code. There's so many different types of therapies out there that help people to realize if there's any past traumas that might be kind of in your subconscious mind that you're not aware of, that could be holding you back and making you feel denser. And so you want to, release all of these trapped emotions from our past traumas, and then we get lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter, and then we get higher vibrational. Okay, so let's go ahead and ask for the DM. What else is triggering separation at this time for the divine masculines, please? Again, this is a collective reading, so please take what resonates and leave the rest. If that didn't resonate, then maybe this will. Okay, so for the DM, it says, the natural world needs you. The natural world needs you. Okay, so what does this have to do? Let me hear. What was it? Okay, yeah, so insecurity. Yeah, right. So, okay, so the DMs are a bit insecure. And so this has to do, because what I'm getting, this has to do with a lot to do with, it could be like environmentalism. It could be something to do with nature. She's all like dressed in leaves and butterflies and flowers. So anyway, let's say the DM is a bit insecure about themselves. Maybe nature, getting out in nature will help. There's so many different ways of empowering yourself. So they're asking you to remember how powerful you are, and they're saying that the natural world needs you. Whatever that means to you, DMs. Let's ask the DF. All right, let's ask the DF. Okay, for the DF, I should say. What else is, or what clarity or guidance do you have for the DFs about this conflict? Breaking Dawn, Violet Angel, Breaking Dawn. Wow, look at her. Okay, so it's almost like it's like having a breakthrough, So if you have this trapped anger inside of you, or some kind of conflict that has not been resolved in the past, forgiveness would be huge as a breaking dawn. And it's almost like you have to figure out what you could do to break that pattern. Okay, it's like a breakthrough. There has to be a breakthrough for some of you. So I always like to tell my story. I had trauma also as a child growing up, but it was something that I really wasn't conscious of, or it was pretty much buried. And so it wasn't until I met my twin flame that got mirrored out of me. And so I started doing the work through the emotion code, and I was able to release all these trapped emotions. I was able to do the work. It's called inner child work, and it relieved all this conflict that was inside of me that I didn't even know that was there. So if you think you might have had trauma in the past, or something that caused conflict, or even something that you're aware of that caused conflict and that you need to forgive, remember, you forgive for yourself, okay? You're doing it because you're poisoning your own body. It could be about your own twin flame. If you feel like you can't forgive your own twin flame, forgive them for yourself, because like I said, it puts yourself out of alignment when you don't forgive that they still have power over you. Okay, so breaking dawn is all about breaking that pattern, and it's all about that breakthrough. And then it's like you see the light, and then you're free. It's like that freedom, like give yourself that freedom. All right, but let's get another card. So let's ask for the DM, please. What could be triggering separation at this time? What could be triggering separation at this time for the DM, please? And like I said, if you feel more connected to the DM side, then that's the side you should take. All right, we have deception. Okay, so I feel like some of the DMs feel like they've been deceived, or they've had some deception in their lives. Or maybe they feel like they were the ones that were deceiving you. But anyway, they're feeling insecure over some kind of deception in their lives. Could be anything. There was something that could have happened. For them, it could also be inner child work where they need to work on deception. They felt deceived, maybe from a family member or a friend, or could be a job. It could be wherever they feel like there was some kind of deception that they need to work on. Okay, also let's do the divine feminine. Anything else that could be triggering separation? So it's just stuff. It's good to find out what these things are that could be triggering, because then what you do is you do the work and you bring it to the surface and then you heal it, or accept. Also it's about accepting it too. Because the shadow work is all about accepting everything that's a part of us and making it ours and loving it and loving ourselves whole and unconditionally. All right, let's look at the DF. Let's look at the DF side. And since we are the DM and the DF, mostly it probably is both sides, right? All right, entitlement. So for the DF, we have entitlement. So maybe there was something where you felt entitled to, and you feel like, I don't know, maybe like if you feel a lot like the DM side too, maybe you feel like you've been deceived in some way, okay? And that maybe there was something that you were entitled to and it didn't happen. But so this is Goldilocks, and Goldilocks felt very entitled to the three bears. Bowl, chair, bed, you name it. She felt very entitled to their things. And so it's almost like for the divine feminine, what they're telling me is that we all at some point feel like, without doing the work, we're just entitled to certain things. Okay, that we're entitled to like just have it, like I claim it and it's mine and I should just have it now. Whereas your soul signed you up to do a particular growth type work first. And so instead of feeling like you're entitled to this particular outcome, it's almost like we have to have like a different perspective on, what it means to be on a twin flame journey. So a lot of us feel like, oh, the twin flame journey, it's about me marrying my twin flame. And I'm entitled to that because I'm a twin flame. And I came down here as a twin flame, and that's my twin flame. And because that's my twin flame, I'm entitled to that person because that's my twin flame. And that's not how it works. It's really, it's a journey to you, back to you first. And there's no entitlement at all. It's all about you figuring out how to become the highest version of yourself and becoming like the best you. And then when you do that, by default, your twin flame comes in and is with you in the physical. But first, it's a job of you loving you, becoming one with you, that there is no separation, coming to the oneness. Okay, so that's another thing, right? So maybe you feel like, well, we're all one, so I'm entitled, right? So it's kind of the same thing where, yes, we are all one. We are not separated. That is just an illusion. And so at the same time, you can look at it in a positive way, Because, right, it is a shadow side and you want to look at everything as a positive, right? You don't want to look at something, oh, well, that's so dark of me and I'm just going to throw that in the shadows and I don't want to know that part of me. So for those of you who do feel like you're entitled, that is a good thing that you can hold true to and own it and say, we are all one. All right. And I am entitled to this world. This world is me. I am the world. And so you can look at it as a positive thing and say, I'm entitled to all, because it is all, because all is me, so it's like, it doesn't have to be bad. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just, that's what they're telling me. Anything can have a perception of good or bad. Something really good, someone could have a bad perception of it. Something really bad, someone can give you a good perception on it. Perspective on it. So it's just having that perspective of yourself as whole and say, I accept all of me. Okay. I think I made my point. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get some guidance. Let's get some guidance for the DMs. Let's get some guidance for the DM on what's the guidance on what could be triggering separation. What's the guidance, please? Invest. So for the DMs, we have invest. And this says, see if they're the one. Spend time together. Make effort getting to know them. Emotional investment. Yes, DMs, invest your time with your DFs. Go ahead and invest some time. Invest your time. Emotionally invest your time. Get to know your DF. Get to know them. It doesn't have to be like right off the bat. It doesn't have to. Me and my twin flame actually did that, right? We didn't like jump right into a relationship right away. We actually like were friends for a few months. We just kind of hung out. We hung out a lot, I would say, even before that, like even in 2018. Like we just kind of hung out. There was no romance at the beginning. And so that's the DM investing their time to kind of get to know the other person. That's good advice. Okay, so let's look at the DF. Take it slowly. I always get this sign of an inchworm. I always see inchworms around, and it's like they're always telling me to take my time on stuff. Like, how much more time do you need? I've given time. Okay, just joking. Okay, so let's look at the DF. What guidance do we have for the DF? What guidance do we have for the DF collective, please? So the guidance is to see, this says the Grim Reaper. So the guidance is to see that this relationship was a vehicle for you. It was a vehicle for your growth. It was to help transform your life. The Grim Reaper, when they came and they separated you and your twin flame, it wasn't meant to put you into some sort of suffering. It wasn't meant for you to go into this mode of, wow, I'm not good enough, or there's something wrong with me, or wow, my life is so sad now. No, it was meant to push you into transformation and growth. So that's what this relationship was for. And it's in the separation where you're doing most of the work. It's where you're doing the deep diving. It's in the separation where you don't have the distractions, and you are working on yourself, and you're learning about yourself, and you're realizing, well, what is, like, who am I, and what is my bliss, and what does make me tick. And it's like that is your time outside of a relationship to figure out who you are, how to center yourself, to get your practice, like down pat, and how to love yourself. Okay. And so that is what this relationship is teaching you on both sides. All right, but let's also get some messages from your twin flame. Let's see what messages we have from your twin flame. All right. What does your twin flame want you to know? What does your twin flame want you to know right now? It says, I miss the feel of you next to me. I miss the feel of you next to me. That's what your twin flame wants you to know right now. They miss you. That's beautiful. All right. Well, I do hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button. And again, if you're interested in a 10-minute free reading, just go ahead and email me at twinflamealchemisttarot@gmail.com. I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.